Hey, what's up, Internet? It is the end of the 4th day of Ultimatum, I think. It's been kind of a long weekend, I've lost track. Pretty sure it's the 4th day. God, I hope so. It was another pretty good day. We have gotten a fair amount of Atlas progress done. Got 116 out of 164. We killed Cirrus today for the first time. We only dropped, was a Thread of Hope, I think, the Jewel. But those are still going for a fair amount this early. It was like an Exalt or so. I want to say we're just over 20 Watchstones in. I was doing like sort of the leapfrog thing until I got to here, and I decided I'm just gonna go ahead and slot my Watchstones to get better chance at Guardian maps and stuff. We did switch into a Viridi's Veil setup today. I wound up overpaying a little bit still. I paid 3 Exalts for it. I still think within the next few days you're going to see a lot of drop in the price of this thing, and the Pandemonias probably. More so on the Viridis, as many more people are going to be hitting Maven. And unless they've changed the drop rate, considerably, I'm pretty sure it's just the fact that there are very few people still getting the Maven yet, and so the supply of this was pretty backed up. But I think by the end of the week, you're going to see a lot more of the player base having killed Maven, dumping these into the market, and I just don't think there are enough totem players that the price of this is going to be anywhere near what it is right now. The Pandemonias will probably drop a little bit slower, but ever since the last patch, there's obviously a lot more people killing Breach Lords. They need to kill the Breach Lord invite for Maven, and that's obviously part of the entire quest line. And now it's even easier to get Breach Stones because you can just upgrade a Breach Stone with a blessing of the matching Breach Lord. So I just expect that price to come down to. I did upgrade my boots too after the stream. I think I paid like 40 chaos for these. Kind of a side effect of Ultimatum dropping a lot of these well-rolled rares into the market. There's just a lot of really good loot to sift through. Prices are pretty good. Coward's Legacy is actually not that expensive at this point in the league. It was more expensive, I'm pretty sure, in 3.13 at this point in the league. The Vol Reliquaries are putting a bunch more of these in the market, and I don't know how many other people were using these besides us, so these will probably only get cheaper as time goes on. Same with Adziri's Reflection. You might have noticed that Adziri's was down to like I saw it as low as like 6 Exalts today. It'll probably just continue to fall because outside of totem players, and I think some of the curse bots use Adziri's Reflection, but other than that, I don't think there's anybody. So Viridi's kind of has a hard cap, because if this gets too expensive, you can just buy an Adziri's, which is going to continue to sink. So I'm certain that Viridi's is going to drop well underneath the Reflection, but just something to keep in mind. We also upgraded one of our wands today after the stream. Nothing amazing, but again, loot like this is just much more affordable in the current economy because Ultimatum is just generating way better rares on average than other stuff. It's pretty refreshing, honestly, to see more decent rares this early in the league. I worry about this league going core. I don't know how Chris Wilson feels about rares this good being as accessible as they are, but I bet the solo self-found players are pretty darn happy with this league. I don't think anything else happened in the skill tree. We still are just doing the cold conduction. I did, after the last video, went ahead and rolled this into an Astonishing Affliction cold conduction. Still have my Blessed Jewel. I may have to re-roll this guy to get a little bit more resist when I switch into Pandemonias, which is my next upgrade plan. We'll see. I'll also have to take a look at like how expensive it's going to be to get into a large cluster, and whether I'm going to do that this league or not anytime soon. I think for this video we're going to go ahead and run a Elder Guardian. I've only run one of these guys before. This is a new Bastir. Why can't he spawn there? Oh, the map's too low. That's fine. I don't really need him down there anyway. But so we don't have the Pandemonius, but we do have the Viridi set up with Coward's Legacy so that we can do Pain Attunement, and we've got obviously the Hatred in this one, and we've got just a basic lots of life. I've got some lightning res to make sure that my resists are okay. This will probably become I could probably do this now actually, but I'm gonna wait until after I switch into Pandemonius because I gotta recheck my resist then. I've got some extra resist coming from my amulet that are gonna go away. But I think right about now I'm doing maybe like 650,000 like Shaper DPS per totem with Flash Sub. So nothing incredible, but pretty comfortable for a tier 14. It's pretty easy to walk and talk here. The ultimatums are still kind of spicy, and they'll probably be easy to see in a layout like this where we have sort of a cramped space. This has been, I think, the most difficult part of Ultimatum. If you are doing ultimatums in high tier red maps and you've got a layout like this where you just don't have a full space, I think this is where Ultimatum gets the most challenging, because it doesn't seem like it tries to spawn any fewer monsters than it would on a map like Dunes or something. Nice reward, 3 clear oil, huh? But now that I have this much DPS, it's pretty easy to do like a protect the altar or just kill monsters. Even on the tier 16s. Hey, 4C, that's not terrible. You do have to be a little bit careful, especially in a cramped area like this. Like you see, I'm taking decent sized hits, but we have a very, very powerful instant flask now, thanks to my Zos Breachstone. We definitely want to keep this, so I might quit after this wave, because I can. Yeah, let's just take that. Give me that. Those are worth a fair amount right now. But I was saying our life flask is very strong now because I'm using a panicked, so it's 2160 life, instant recovery when on low life, which thanks to our belt, I'm always at low life. So this is a 2160 instant, and then if you add Rislatha with the upgraded function there, 60% increased life recovery when used on low life. So this is 60% stronger than even what it says. So it's over 3,000 health. It's like 3,400 or so, I think. Instant healing. And I've only got a 4,098 life pool. So as long as you don't instantly die and you have decent reaction time, it's pretty hard to kill you in an ultimatum, just because there's so many monsters. Your flasks are coming back to full basically instantly, right? So it's a pretty big like comfort upgrade to hit into this Coward's Legacy setup. You'll notice it right away, as long as you roll that panic flask on your life flask, which I highly recommend. But yeah, we had some pretty decent luck today. What was it that we dropped? I think we dropped the Volconus, which is like a, I think it's a Demon Dagger base type, some unique weapon that all the Bladefall Inquisitor boys that started this league are running. That sold for like 2.5 exalts or something. And combined with that Tinker skin from yesterday, I had a small pile of cash to go ahead and upgrade. And we've also had a fair amount of other like smaller pieces that sold from like, you know, like the Foible was 90C, the Thread of Hope was an exalt. Lots of small currency too. The ultimatums are still, oh I forgot. Let's pop out and get our flask back, since we gotta wait for him anyway. I forgot we were doing the Elder Guardian. This is what, Purifier, I think? But yeah, lots of small currency coming out of ultimatums. I can't stress enough how valuable it is to do those. And it's made me think that there's probably a lot of merit to running a white map strategy this league, kind of like we did in Legion. Just because the ultimatums really are that profitable on average. I mean, you might as well, right? Just pop into a white map, hit the ultimatum, break out, do it again. Any of you white map Walters that were doing that in Legion can probably do the same thing here again. Maven, who invited you anyway? It's alright, we'll use the classic strategy. If you watch my leveling series, you know most things in this game, they're weak to you running in a circle. So we just keep doing that, pretty much win the whole game. And what do we get? Fragment of Purification. Nice. So yeah, things are already hitting that pretty comfortable benchmark at this point, which I said is about, I'm at about somewhere between like 620 and 650 last I checked. And we've got a lot of upgrades to make, right? If you compare this to my ritual character had about 8 times that much as much damage, or something like that. It was like 4 million per totem. So we have just tons of room to grow here, which I'm looking forward to doing. Like I said earlier, if you're still in the Kizaru setup and you're kind of stressed about the price of Viridis, you can just sort of wait. Like, you could grind your currency now, and you should have no problem. I was doing the tier 14s, 15s, 16s. It's a little slow on the single target when it comes to like Conquerors, and I would say maybe don't roll your Conqueror maps, especially when you're pulling for Watchstones still, and you're in that Kizaru setup. Your single target's not going to be amazing, right? The Conquerors won't pose too much trouble, but if you roll a bunch of affixes on there, then you're juicing them up, and they're only going to give you 20% of the quantity of what you're rolling back on the Conqueror itself. So I don't think it's really worth rolling those Conqueror maps until later, when you're really farming them, you know, when maybe you've got all your Watchstones, you know, when we're at like 1 million to maybe like 1.5 million per totem, in that range, you start rolling those pretty hard, because you're just going to be blasting those Conquerors anyway, right? But right now is probably not the right time for that, efficiency-wise. Anyway, I think I'll wrap that up here. For those curious, I think 94, about 27% in. We still are on 0 deaths, despite all of our ultimatum shenanigans. I've had some really close calls, but haven't managed to die yet. I'm sure that's going to change. Whether that's me messing up a Maven memory game, or just being greedy and dying to Ultimatum, or probably dying to there's supposed to be a new Ultimatum boss. I'm sure I'll have that on my YouTube channel as soon as I come across him. I don't even know how to access it, and I try to avoid spoilers for all that stuff. So when I do upload it, it'll probably be a blind run. But I'll probably die to that. I died to Maven the first time, and Cirrus for sure, so that'll be interesting. Anyway, if you'd like to catch me live, I'm still streaming every day this week. I think probably next week I'll get back to more of like a 3 to 4 days a week schedule. I can't stream 7 days a week forever, but I'm definitely enjoying the league. There's some tweaks I'd like to see made. I think Ultimatum is probably a little bit overtuned. I know a lot of people enjoy it. I have to admit, I like the amount of experience that all these spawns are giving, but it's probably a bit overdone. And like I said, I'm a little worried that there's a lot of exploitive, I don't know if exploitive is the right word. There's a lot of easy strategies, I think, that are probably too rewarding with this mechanic as it is, just because it spawns too many monsters, I think. So I sort of expect to see some nerfs to it in the first week or so. In the meantime, though, take advantage of it while you can. Just be careful, because it can be pretty rippy. Anyway, if you want to come hit me, find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/WallachTV. I've been streaming generally starting around 1 p.m. Pacific this week, each day. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.